Hey y'all, happy Monday. We're finally gonna do a garden tour, and I have, you see, a little helper, Mr. Mo. But I will, before we end the video, I'm gonna take you out and show you what we had to fix. And I say I was moral support. I didn't do nothing but hand stuff. So Mr. Buddy was the septic guy. He was plumber for the weekend. But we think we've got it all done but one major part, and that's got to get fixed soon. So we're at the entrance. I'm gonna turn around, the camera around. We're gonna walk through. There's been some additions. We finished getting the last, are they 1-bys? He cut 1-bys. I think that's what it is. So we have rain coming this week, but if it's only in the daytime, it's not too wet in the evenings, we're going to go ahead and get the shade cloth put on the garden. But we're going to film the whole thing. If not, it'll be this coming weekend. So yeah, we're going to get a lot of the garden with some shade cloth. I am tickled pink. But I'm going to turn the camera around because we've added some stuff. Let's start here. The Confederate jasmine is blooming. Guys, it's one of our favorite evergreens. And I mean, it has really taken off. Both sides. But here we go. The zinnias are in bloom. The dahlias is about to bloom. And we're gonna walk on in here and let's first look at our beans. Now these are the Gold Rush bush beans. Had no problems with caterpillars or anything since I used the Captain Jack. Got a lot of blooms. And they're doing great. I'm shocked that the rain didn't remove all of the dust, because you know I went heavy, but it didn't remove it all. And remember the one we didn't think that was going to come up? It is. So, hey, that's good. I would say 100% success. And like I said, I've had no more bites since I used the Captain Jack. And these are really climbing. Now, these are the Cherokee Yellow Wax beans. And I mean, they're loaded, guys, in blooms. Now, I do have, some flies. But it doesn't seem that the Captain Jack's is keeping them off. But they fared the storm fairly well. They had laid over and I was worried. But they fared the storm just fine. What you got, Mo? What is that?
A pop.
A pop? What flavor?
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy. All right, there's Mr. Buddy's elephant garlic. We'll harvest it about July. And here is some cayenne peppers. And I had to tomato clip this one. It got laid over, guys. Pretty bad.
That's a giant bird.
And there's the other ones. You know, I have noticed, though, this variety, I don't know what I've done with it. This is the poblano, and I'm trying to remember. I think it's the burpee variety. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's very skimpy. It's kind of naked. It's just different for a poblano, but hey, I'll take it. I mean, it's healthy. It's got a few blooms on it now, so, but it's just kind of, yeah, it's just there. Now this I will be harvesting probably this weekend. This week is very strange. We've actually got cool temps. We're not going to see above 72 for a whole week and a lot of rain. So I'm not concerned about it bolting. It has no signs of bolting. But if you look here, it got beat. Oh, here I am. It got beat down with the ones that was sticking out from the hail. So, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and harvest it and get it put up. But guys, I can't wait to show you how I'm going to preserve this. I'm nervous, but I'm tickled. Now here is our cayenne peppers. And y'all look at this. It is loaded. Can y'all see this? I mean, loaded. This one is full of blooms, and I see some very, very small peppers. So I would say success for these so far. Okay, remember when I mismarked and I thought I was growing cantaloupe? Growing cucumbers? Well, he still hasn't built the fencing, but it's going to be easily done. And we don't really have to worry about it right now. But what I did do is I did plant a week ago some cantaloupe. These are called the Savoys. And what I did was I put 2 seeds to a hole. Well, I'm going to come probably in the next 3 days and see which one is the weakest link, and I'm just going to clip it out of there. So that'll give me a total of 4 plants. Now, because I mixed them up, I don't know what kind of cucumber. But if I'm a guessing person, I think these are gherkins. Because the flowers are extremely tiny, very tiny. Let me show you. You see that? Here's another example. Very small. So I think this is a gherkin. And I think the other one is too. Now, I've got a little bit of yellowing, a little bit of pits here. That's too much water, but we've had an abundance of rain. I'm talking about an abundance. So it's fine, but we really don't need 3 more days of rain. And it looks like we've got 3 more days of rain. Now the herbs are Cadillacing, but let me show y'all my apple mint. Look at this. Look at all of this new growth all the way up. Look at this one.
Mama,
What, babe?
look what I got.
See all that growth?
I got a worm for your garden.
What is that, Mo?
A worm?
An earthworm?
Yeah.
So where are you going to put it?
Right here.
Are you going to put it right there?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I would do? I'd move some of that straw and I'd get it down on the dirt. Kind of, yeah. Move some of the straw and get it under there. There you go. Tuck him in. Cover him up. And he's going to be very happy. Thank you, Mo. Parsley, great. Now, we're not going to cover these with shade cloth for the first part. We've really got to concentrate on the tomatoes. But I do have something to show y'all. There's reasons I want to show y'all this. These are the potatoes. Remember, was the overflow, a mixture, but it was a bed we had available. So what did we do? We planted them. They're doing great. Remember the large Yukons? They finally come up. Look at them. But we're fixing to start changing. And we're changing rapidly till you get here to the Pontiacs. They're different, aren't they? Look. They're very different. Well, guys, I can't tell you how many of them was popped off into. Literally, after that, and it was small hail, too. But the wind, well, coming this way is the west. That wind was blowing. Now, hear me out. The only thing different from, because if you look at these, they're fine. It's from this point of this shed to the other side of this shed. That wind literally had these lifted up and was smacking them up against the back of my garden shed and snapping them off. So I made a note to myself for next year about potatoes going here, because they're fine here. They got beat down, and there you go, perfectly fine. But I mean, they were just I mean, smacked this away into, on the ground into, and it was just throwing them against that shed. So we learned something. I learned I won't be putting potatoes right there in front of that shed. Now let's talk about the sweet potatoes. They were poorly looking. Guys, they're standing up. And yes, they had some yellowing when I put them in here. I mean, we were only talking, they wasn't 4 inches long, but I had to get them in. I mean, you know, we live in the South. Well, all the new growth is bright and green. Now, some of the bad ones, I may come in, snap off, no big deal. But hey, I think I'm gonna be fine. Will I have an abundance? Well, no, I didn't plan an abundance. But so far, they are rejuvenating. So I think I may still have a good chance. Yep, this is the tomatoes. Nothing's changed. I did feed on, can't remember. I want to say Friday or Saturday morning. Maybe it was Saturday morning. I'll have to look at my book because I wrote it down. But everything is great. But they're doing great. All the way down, guys. My nose is running, but I'm holding y'all off for what we've added to the garden. But I just enjoy walking with y'all because this way I can see what they're doing as I share with y'all. Uh-oh, look. There's a twig. Was there another one? Yep, right there. See? I mean, that's about all I get from this straw, guys. Oh, and you'll see rocks. Here's a rock. Here's a rock. Here's a rock. I'll explain what those rocks mean. That would be Mr. Mo. All right, we're getting into the peppers. These are the non-heat jalapenos. Remember, they all were grown the same. They were all the same size. Oop, I stepped in a hole. But look, we are perfectly in line all the way down. We're in line here, but we have a stumpy, and a stumpy. Can't explain it. Whoops, looks like Captain Jack's fixing to visit. Look at this, y'all. Let's check under it. Yep, Captain Jack's fixing to get on the peppers. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off because there's a pepper. Oops, sorry. There's a pepper right beside it, so we're gonna chunk that. Yep, I'll be spraying here in just a minute. I say spraying, I'll be dusting. Oh. I'm just gonna dust. I mean, I don't know if it's something or was it hit by that hail, since they are some leaves pointing to the outside. But hey, Captain Jack will make me feel a little bit more secure. Look at that. Now, I don't know who's going to get it first. Well, wait, we have two. And one for Mr. Buddy. Guys, we eat these things like a sweet banana pepper. Oh, and Mo done harvested the strawberries. He had about 15 yesterday evening. And some of them, well, they could have went another day, but he ate them. Loved every bit of it. My little loquat's doing good. This is the bale, remember guys, that I seed saved. It's very squatty. It's alive. It's growing, but it's squatty compared to the others. But hey, this is, I'm impressed. I really am impressed. We got some nasturtiums and the 2 rosemaries doing great. Now, what do you see here? We only had 4 of them, guys. I think we gave 20 panels away when we moved. It was just the weight. You know, we were charged by the weight. So we told y'all, you know, we were going to use our fencing. Now, some of it's still going to be for the boxes, but we decided to go ahead and use the panels here. And let me show you. In here has been some new stuff added. All of these were in the greenhouse about to die because I couldn't find anybody to give them to. These are the Space Master cucumbers. So we have a Space Master here and here and here. And bring it back in. Now that one was in with this plant. I transplanted it Saturday, but it didn't seem to affect it. Of course, we have our radishes growing. So there's our cucumbers. But then when we go here, okay, I was wrong. There was 4 of those, and these are the gherkins. See, there's some yellowing. I mean, they were laid over in those little bitty cells, and I'm talking about them little bitty starters. But with the cool temps that we have, they're not cold, they're cool. They didn't go in as much shock when I put them in here. And I have nothing to lose. I would only lost if I'd have kept them in that greenhouse because I didn't intend on planting them. But these are also the the gherkins. So I have 4 Space Masters and I have 4 gherkins. Now this one did the best of them all out there. I do have a yellow leaf and I do remove those. So, and there's the other one. And like I said, I'm going to find something I'll put here. I don't want to leave this as just empty space. But we're going to have to look really hard down in here. Can y'all see it? I keep the straw from it. It's tiny. And this one's tiny. You want to know what that is? We don't know. Y'all remember the big pot of where I dumped all of those cells that never germinated. And I had a big old tub and I just dumped and dumped. And we were just going to use it to fill in. Well, these 2 tomatoes emerged. We just put them out here. And they're called question marks. These 2 tomatoes, baby. So they may grow, they may not. But hey, if they were strong enough to handle being buried upside down, then why not put them in there and see what comes of it. These were 2 remaining San Marzanos that I couldn't find anybody that wanted them. So I planted them. I wasn't going to let them go to waste. Here's the bell peppers. Oop, I'm going to have to dust. So see, I don't know if that is a hail, see, or is there something biting because it's not everywhere. So I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and dust them. Full of blooms, I know that. But you see, these are much larger than that one that I started from that organic bell pepper. And I sent some of you some seeds. We got a couple of little bell peppers here. Here is our sweet bananas. Look at this. There's bananas on every one of them. Now here is our zucchini. And yes, I did put garden tome and black pepper around the base. Let's see if y'all can you see all of that? So far, knock on wood, I haven't had problems, but it's not hot. Guys, in the South, you really need to get those zucchinis and those squash producing early, because by July, I want these done. Because then all I'm doing is inviting bugs. Because your squash vine borers and all of that, they really feed and lay eggs in your hottest months. That would be July and August for where we're at. So I want these spent and done by July. But I do have quite a few zucchini coming in. But just remember, you know, if I don't know what your months are of your highest heat. But yeah, when you're trying to grow these vines, these vegetables, and you grow them in the highest heat, you're going to have bugs. That's just no way around it. Now what he did here was he ran, these are the cucumbers. These are the burpless. We have 1, 2, and there's a tomato there. I wasn't worried about the tomato because if they do grow and they come up the panel, it'll help shade that one tomato. And here is his sour gherkins. I just planted 2 seeds. They came up. Okay, here is my squash. This is all gentry squash. Look down in here. Can y'all see? Garden tone and black pepper. But I do have to dust that, see? But I don't know. I'm going to dust it. But like I said, that pea-sized hail did kind of break some stuff down. But now let's get to here. Y'all, you think I was joking. These hosinators, literally, I'm not lying to you. It was laid over like this. I said, oh my God, and it just fell off in my hand. So I left it there for y'all because we had 2. Now remember, these were all planted the 3rd try. 3 times is a charm. And don't ask me how this ended up here. This is a salad more cucumber. We're just going to cage it by itself and hope for the best. I don't know how it ended up in here. But here was that other hosinator. Again, laid over. It was in the dirt. And I said, what's wrong with it? And it just snapped right off. Guys, I can't make this up. So I surrendered to the challenge. Because I'm quite pleased with every other variety that I seed started. And these were all seed started in these buckets the 3rd time with the new seed starting mix that was gifted to me. And these were with my blocks. Remember, we can't count the first round. I used that bag burpee stuff because we couldn't find the blocks. And they are where they need to be. They don't need to be any larger. They're where they need to be. And I tell you what, this one here, look at them blooms. Now that's a summer pick. That again is a determinant. But the rocks that's surrounding the garden, that is so when the birds come, instead of landing on the plants or, you know, breaking them, it's kind of like a landing pad for the birds to land on. And
that's the only plants that they land on.
Yes, so where he put them, those kind of plants birds will land on. But by putting those rocks there and those pads, it gives them a place to land and not break our plants.
Yeah, they'll get used to it and they'll land on it.
There you go. So, you know, hey, if y'all got some pavers laying around, small ones, put them in your garden. It gives the birds a place to land.
Or if you have big ones.
Or if you have big ones, he said. You know, we learn stuff every day, y'all, don't we? We learn stuff every day. So, what else was I going to tell y'all? Besides, I really need a Kleenex because I'm outside. I guess that's about it. I think I did feed Saturday. I'll look in my book, but I think I did. But I'm very happy. You know, I do believe we eradicated the bugs as far as on the beans. I do see some bites. Could have been penny-sized hail, but... What?
You said penny-sized hail.
Oh, that means the size of the hail that comes from the sky. The size of a penny. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and put the Captain Jacks. But let's go ahead and look at what Buddy did with the septic and what's left to be done. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen with this rain coming in, because that's That's one of the issues that we are having, and I don't think it's going to be repaired before this next 3 days of rain. So let's go look at what he did. Y'all remember a couple of weeks, I think I'd showed y'all all the monarch caterpillars. Look, guys, I watched him for 2 days. He closed up. His cocoon is almost sealed completely. And we're about to have a monarch butterfly. How cool is that? Okay, guys, what you're looking at is one of 3. We have what they call a Cajun air system for our septic. It's got the aerator. Well, all 3 of the pop-ups stayed extended and they wouldn't circulate. They literally broke off, I guess, from being old, and water just stood in one spot and it was literally flooding. So while he was working on the septic, he did put in new sprinkler heads, only these are in ground and they'll pop up. But let's show you what the problem is. Oh, before we get there, look at our muscadines. Even those 2 down there came on back. So he still has to build the clothesline look. But yeah, they're doing great, y'all. Our septic tank. We have 2 of these green tanks here.
You mean
Here's the other one.
3? You mean 3?
This one had to be pulled, and the filter in it was just engulfed in animal hair from years and years back. This is what will be going on here. He's got a temporary cover. Guys, this had no cover, okay? But the problem is we've got to bring dirt in. Oop, let me move my hand. For some reason, the camera don't want to focus. We've got to bring dirt in, build it up, extend this. This is the clean out. Because when it rains, the water literally covers that and it actually seeps into the broken pipe. This has got to be taken care of ASAP. Well, what happens when the pipe fills up and you lose power and it can't pump? It backs up into your plumbing in your house. So what he did was he just took the sprinkler heads off, the broke ones. He opened this up and he just let it run. And that's what we had to do for now. But there's our pipe that's been sitting there. And now we know where we can get a little load of dirt from Mr. Larry and be able to fix this problem. Well, that was the garden update. Not much. Well, I guess so. We have 2 questionable tomatoes. We know it's questionable. They just came up on their own. We got 2 that lost their IDs. I don't know. Let's hope there's paperwork to see what they are. But Mo and I are now going to ride and look for ant beds and eradicate them. It's a little cloudy. It's cool, but not cold. So, yeah, we'll get into something tomorrow. Well, I know we will. I'll go ahead and give y'all a hint. Miss Nikki sent some more kumquats, and we're going to put them up the way she told me to. Oh, we have an ant bed. So, tomorrow, we'll make some kumquat preserves. Hey, the way I did it, even though it took how many hours, y'all? I don't know, 48 hours, 72 hours. I don't, who's keeping count? They're delicious. This takes approximately 2 hours. So, yeah, tomorrow we will make kumquat preserves. And she did also send an enormous box of orange lemons that has been washed, and they are sitting in gallon bags in the freezer. So, I won't be feeding them to Grandpa. I promise. But, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And Mo, I got to get a coffee refill. You want to drive me, chauffeur?